Hello everyone, it's us for the first time because we are sharing exciting news today. We've hit that 100 subscribers a few days ago. I know it's not a big thing, but it's a big milestone for us as we've never thought about doing YouTube years ago. We never even thought there would be 100 people watching us. So thank you, really, it really means a lot and we really appreciate that you keep coming back. So I know you haven't really seen Emile much at all, but he finally agreed to show up.
Hey guys, I'm Emile. You probably know me best as the guy who's behind camera laughing at all of Jessie's bloopers. In fact, she had one just yesterday where she spilled an entire glass of tea onto our white sofa. So, good job!
Didn't mean to spit that out.
So yeah, my normal day-to-day job is a motion designer / video editor and videographer. Because of the pandemic, I have been put on furlough, which means I'm not working at the moment, which means I can spend more time on this YouTube channel. It also means I can teach you some of the knowledge that I've learned in my job over the years, and that includes a 2.5D like this. So some of you commented on the 2.5D in the submission we sent to Matti Hapoya's contest, which looks like this.
I remember seeing this guy standing in the middle of a busy street. He was so concentrated on his phone that he did not even know that I took this. If you look closely, you will see a woman smoking her cigarette. Another one appearing to be in deep thoughts. And a man drinking a pint outside of the pub. I missed this moment. I missed the London I knew.
The tutorial I'm doing for this video isn't quite as advanced as that one because that one includes moving floors and buildings on the side. This one is more like just 2 layers. If you do want me to do a more advanced version after this, please comment below and I'll see what I can do, and let's get into this. Okay, so once you've brought your photo into Photoshop, the first thing you want to do is duplicate the background layer, and the shortcut for that is Ctrl-J. You just want to do that so you have a backup in case you mess something up, which is very likely if you're me. So after that, you want to cut out Jessie. And there's multiple ways of doing this, but I find the easiest way for me to do it is to use the pen tool. So the way the pen tool works is, well, you can either press P, which is a shortcut, or click over here. By clicking down, you can create anchor points. You see the blue dot there, and then you can click again, click again, click again, and it creates a shape. You can also click, hold, and drag, and that will give you the ability to create curves in your shape, which is super useful. So now I'm just gonna go and cut out this wall section and Jessie. So I just follow along the edge, click and drag. You can also, once you get to a corner like this, you can click, drag, hold Alt, and then it'll give you the ability to adjust one side of the curve. So I click here, hold Alt, drag up, and it's created a curve just on one side. This is going to take a little while, so I'll speed this process up and come back to you when I'm done. Also, you'll see there are little details that poke out like this. Again, I would just click inside of the jacket and we'll worry about these later. As long as I remember, that is. Alright, we're up to the tricky part. So there is one way which I go about doing this, which is completely ignore all of the hairs that are going into the background. I'm just going to do a really rough job and click inside where there's no gaps. I'll come back to this later so where we can refine and bring back all of the detail. Probably going to come back and refine all these details in the bush as well, just bring it back, but as of now I'm just going to cut it out. Alright, so I've cut out the main outline. We still need to go in between these parts right here, but once you've done this, you want to control click on this part of the shape layer and it's going to create the selection. Then pressing M or click here to select the selection tool, then right click and you want to feather it I usually give it a radius of 1 pixel, just so it's not too harsh of an edge. Press enter, click on the layer, and click on the mask tool. Awesome, now if I hide this background layer, you'll see it's cut out, but obviously her hair is a little bit sharp right now, so bring back the background layer, and you'll see on the side in the properties panel, the select and mask. This part is like magic. So what you want to do is either press the shortcut R or go up here and click on, oh, it's actually already clicked, the refine edge brush tool. And you can change the size of your brush by holding Alt and then right click, drag left and right. You can also change the hardness by dragging up and down. I normally leave it at 0% hardness and just go along where all of the hair is overlapping the edge. It's like magic, it just brings it back. Didn't even have to do anything difficult, it's just coming back. This is definitely the most satisfying part of the entire thing. Just another note, I've made the color here green just so it's really easy to see what's coming back, and I've made the opacity 50%. If it was 100%, you wouldn't see the background underneath it, so I'm just leaving it at 50%. I didn't forget about you. There's actually so much detail in this jacket, I can just go across the entire edge and bring back these little fibers. Ooh. Crazy glitch, what the hell? Okay, okay, that's pretty weird. Never seen that before. I think I'm just gonna ignore that. Okay, that's looking good. So all you have to do now is press OK. And if I hide the background layer, you see, perfect. All the hair has magically grown back. Not that we need more hair. You should see my hair. This pandemic has meant my hair is like 30 feet long now. Alright, now to cut out these little sections that we completely forgot about. Well, not you, me, because I always forget about everything. This is kind of tricky, so I'm going to use the same method. Use the pen tool, click, ignore all of these little spokes for now. Coming back for them. Control select on the shape layer down here. Press M for the selection tool, right click, feather, 1 pixel. And then, because we have this mask here, whatever's white is what we see here, and whatever's black is what is hidden, which was the background. So we can actually bring that back by just getting a paintbrush and painting it white. So undo that. And it works the other way around. If you paint with a black paintbrush, shortcut to switch these is X, make the brush smaller. See, you can make it invisible. Alright, so I'll bring back that selection that I made earlier. So all you have to do is press Alt backspace, and that's going to fill it with the black color right here. To get rid of the selection, press Ctrl D, it's gone, and we'll make another one for this. Alright, let's bring back these zip spokes by clicking select and mask. Press R for the selection tool, the refine edge tool. And then just draw back over there. I think that worked. Not fully. Okay, I'll just get a brush and paint them back in, because I have all the time in the world. And crazy glitch again. Sweet, press OK. That's done. And now I'm realizing this is actually quite a detailed cutout. I didn't think it would be that much, but it is. So now I want to bring back this hedge plant, whatever it is, right here. How should I do that? I'll just click the background so I can see it again. I think what I'm gonna do is click on the mask layer and just go over it with a white brush. I'm gonna make the background layer a bit more transparent. I'm gonna double click the lock so I can adjust it, make it a bit more transparent so I can still see where the hedge is, and I'm just gonna go into the mask with a brush that is white. Press X to make it white, and I'm just gonna paint it back in like this. Okay, now I'm gonna press X to make the brush tool black, and I'm gonna paint out all the sections. I'm gonna keep it super feathered because it's quite far in the background, so it's quite blurred out. Just turn the flow down a bit. That makes it so it's
doesn't fully wipe out the image straight away. It means you can keep layering it and layering it and layering it until it is actually fully transparent. Alright, it's done, kind of. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's probably good enough. It's quite far in the background, so hopefully no one actually notices. Because this is also quite blurred as it goes further into the distance, I'm gonna just get a brush and feather the edges a little bit more. Make it a little bit less harsh of an edge, a bit more realistic. And as I get closer towards Jessie, it is becoming more in the foreground. So, well, not the foreground, just the normal ground. And yeah, that looks good. That looks good. I'm just gonna leave these more harsh because they are actually in focus. Maybe I can make this more feathered as well. As you can tell, I am being quite perfectionist about this. You don't have to be, because to be honest, probably no one's gonna notice anyway. Alright, save, because I haven't saved it yet. What a maniac. Jessie and the wall are officially cut out. Now you gotta bring back the background, duplicate it so you have a spare, hide Jessie, well, hide the layer that you just cut out, and now you wanna fill in Jessie and the wall. So the way you can do this is control click on the mask, and it's going to bring back the selection that you just made. You want to expand that selection, so you go into select, modify, expand. I'm going to probably do it by about 40 pixels. Yeah, looks good. Go to edit, content aware fill. And again, this is just the magic of Photoshop. How amazing is that? Literally worked so well. It's just completely got rid of her. It's not perfect. You can still see there's a bit of the shrubs, which is actually making up the rest of Whitby Abbey, but we can fix that afterwards. So press OK, Control D, deselects the mask. Now I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to grab the clone stamp tool, which is right here. The shortcut is S. And the way the clone stamp tool works is you can paint sections of the photo from one area onto another area. You hold Alt, which brings up this icon, and you can click and it will select that, and then you can paint it in like that. Obviously, don't do it in the sky because that's not very realistic. So I'm going to paint over this bit. I honestly can't believe how well that one worked. It's a bit of Jessie's hair, so click on the sky, paint over that. Magic. Let's just select a bit of Whitby Abbey and make it so it's not made out of shrubs. Because this is most likely going to end up behind Jessie, it doesn't have to be the most accurate thing in the world. Just going to erase, not that bit. Erase this so it looks like it's finishing. Alright, perfect. I'm just going to merge these two layers together by highlighting both, right click, merge layers. I'm going to bring back Jessie and the wall, and I'm going to name both layers, so name this Jessie. And name this one, oh actually we want to merge the entire background, so do that. And name this one background, or BG for short. Because we don't have time for typing out entire words. Don't know why I sound so angry. Okay, and save that. Alright, the Photoshop section is over. Now let's bring it into After Effects. Let's go. Alright, so now we have After Effects open. We want to import our Photoshop document that we've just made. So go into the project panel, double click, find the project, which I've saved in graphics, 2.5D. Click once, and you want to go to import as and change it to retain layer sizes. That just makes it so it comes in as a composition with its separated layers from Photoshop. And just in case you messed up the first time, it gives you another box. Composition, retain layer sizes. Editable layer styles. So double click on your composition, and here are your layers. You can get rid of this one because that was just the original photo. And the first thing you want to do is make your layers 3D. So you just do that by clicking on these. And then create a camera. Either go on composition. Nope. You can either go on layer. Nope. You can either go on layer, new. Nope. You can go on layer, new, camera, or Ctrl-Alt-Shift-C. It brings up this box. 35mm is good. It might vary depending on your photo. Click on your BG, you press P to bring up the position parameters, and these options here is X space, Y space, and Z space. You want to put it far into the background, so hold shift, which makes it move faster, and click and make it go decently far into the background. I think that should be good. And then just resize it back up as if you hadn't done anything at all. And just to quickly show you what that's done, if you press C, which brings up the camera tool, and you click and rotate, as you can see, the background has been separated from the foreground. It's literally put it into 3D space, or 2.5D space. And the background is already quite blurred, but we can make it even more blurred if we want to. So we can go into the camera options by tapping AA, tap A twice, and you can turn on depth of field and turn up the aperture. As you can see, it's got a bit more blurry, but it's making Jessie blurry as well. So the way to fix that is click on camera, shift click on Jessie, right click, go to the camera options, and you can link the focus distance to the layer, which is Jessie. And now no matter where you move the camera, Jessie is going to remain in focus. If we didn't do that and we zoomed in, obviously Jessie is going to become pretty out of focus. And the next thing that I do is I create a null, which is, you can either go into the layer, new, null, or Ctrl-Alt-Shift-Y and make that 3D. Call it POI for point of interest and link the camera to that. That way you can actually change where the point of interest is going to be. If you were to change the point of interest on the camera alone, you see it's going to rotate it. So yeah, I've moved it pretty much onto Jessie, but it's not adjusting the position of the camera, which means it's going to rotate. Creating a point of interest null means you can change the point of interest and nothing rotates. Makes controlling the animation so much easier. Next, I right click on the position of the camera, separate the dimensions, just also makes it much easier to control. Create a keyframe on the first frame for all of these. Then I'm going to go to point of interest. Again, I'm just going to separate these, create keyframes. I'm going to shift R to bring up the rotation. Keyframe all of these as well, many keyframes. And then we can begin our animation. So I'm probably going to do something really simple like pushing in towards Jessie. So I'll go further in, about 40 frames, and using the camera tool and right clicking, you can push in or you can push out. I'm just going to push in. That looks pretty good. And then with the point of interest null, I'm just going to bring it so Jessie's more in the frame. Ignore what I said about the rotation on the actual camera. I forgot these don't work as well. It's actually better to use rotation on the point of interest again. So if you wanted to, you can animate the rotation too. You can make it look as though the camera is like dipping, pushing in towards her and also getting lower down. Right, let's play that back. See how that looks. I need to create keyframes on the first frame and zero them out. I forgot to do that. Yep, that's looking pretty awesome. Might drag them out a bit, just make the movement a bit more subtle. See how that looks? All right, that's looking great. Just gonna make the work area there. You can do that by pressing N, B for the beginning of the work area, N for the end. Now I can just loop it. For most people, this is good enough, but if you want to go that extra step, the thing that I often do, this is inside knowledge by the way, is I create another null, make that 3D. I'll parent the point of interest to that null. Just gonna rename it, call it wiggle. Then press P to bring out the position, and then create an expression by holding Alt, click on position, type in wiggle, then open parentheses, then type in a number for the frequency. So I'm going to do quite a subtle number, maybe about 0.5, and then comma, and then another number for the amplitude. It's basically we're creating a camera shake, and the amplitude is going to define how much the camera shakes, and the frequency is going to define how quickly the camera shakes. So I'm going to maybe do about 20 for amplitude. Press enter. Now it's going to hopefully give it a natural kind of handheld camera feel. Just give it a bit more life, as if someone's actually filming this. Okay, that was a bit too subtle. Gonna make the amplitude maybe 50. Try 1 for the frequency. Okay, let's see how that looks. Still not enough. Alright, let's go crazy here. 500. Yeah, that's more like it. Let's make this 1000. Yeah, no. Okay. Alright, 1 and 100 seems to be the perfect value. Got there in the end. It looks awesome. Look how cool that looks. As you can see in the composition settings, the width and height are the original photo dimensions. So what I do is I create a new composition by going into the project panel, click on this, creates a new one. Let's just make it 1920 by 1080, 25 frames, call it whatever you want, 2.5D. And then just drag the Whippy Abbey into here and make it so it fits within the box. Quick shortcut is Shift Control Alt H, or you can just scale it down, easy way. But I like shortcuts. I'm pretty sick. Press play. I'm going to go back into the composition and just right click on the top of the timeline and just say trim comp to work area. Go back to the first composition and now you can see it's actually trimmed it here. So I'm going to do the same. Make the work area go to the end of this, trim the comp work area. So it's the perfect length. And there we go. Look at that. I'm going to add a few finishing touches. If you want to go the extra mile, you can create a foreground layer which doesn't even exist in the original photo. So I have this little folder of trees and bushes, and I'm just gonna go into the composition, gonna drag, which one should I drag in? Let's just drag this one in, see what happens. Go to the beginning, I'm gonna make this layer 3D, and doing the opposite of what we did for the background layer, I'm just gonna change the position so it's more in the foreground. As you can see, like it's gonna make it blurred out, like how a real camera works. Just to show you quickly, see now it's actually in the foreground. There's the bush, there's the background. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm just gonna stick it in the corner over here. Yeah, looks great. It just ooh. I don't know what happened there. Alright, I'm screwing up. Okay. Let's reposition that. Press play again. Yeah, that's awesome. It's as if it's revealing Jessie. Just to make it fit into the background a bit more, I'm gonna add a tint. You can do that by going to the effects and presets panel and type in tint and drag it over to the layer. I also have this really cool plugin from Video Copilot. It's called what is it called? I forgot what it's called. Okay, it's called Effects Console. It just makes adding effects so much quicker. All you have to do is press Control Space. It brings up this little panel, and you can just quickly type in tint, press Enter. It's gonna add it to your layer. It's so good. So I'm just gonna select this color picker, and I'm gonna select the darker brown, and this one, do the lighter brown. I'm just gonna blend it back to its original color slightly so it's not too brown. Might add a saturation or lessen the saturation. Yeah, I think that works. Cool. Let's go back to the main composition, see how that looks. Okay, and with a bit of finessing, I've got it to more or less how I would like it. And it's looking pretty good. You've got yourself a good old 2.5D. Now all you have to do is export that and you're good to post it wherever you want.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you're still awake. Like I said at the beginning of this video, if you want me to do the more advanced version of a 2.5D, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hopefully I can make more in the future. Alright, see you guys. Goodbye. I haven't thought of a proper way to end videos yet.
Do what I did.
Alright.
3.
Bye!